It is July 1938, and another great war has broken out across of Europe amongst the major powers. Germany has invaded in the lightning war France and have managed to capture Paris, enforcing the French nation to surrender. They have established the Vichy administration in the southern portion of France and have also been quite successful in bringing over the entirety of the French Navy, leaving only one Free French submarine in the Free French hands. Apart from that, everything else joined the Vichy fleet, as well as 3 vessels joining the German Navy as well. So things are looking quite grim for the French peoples. The colonies have mostly gone over to the Vichy, or at least the important ones. The North African ones almost entirely have gone. Syria and Tunisia remain in Free French hands. The entire west coast of Africa, or the south of the Sahara, have gone to Free France, but those are fairly secure anyways. And the Far East, the French Far East, has gone over to the Japanese. So that's the situation that we see right now in the world. In the Spanish Civil War, so the nationalists have held off from any additional attacks and have decided to go on a strategy of the long war, not trying to take the Republicans out as quick as they can, and things have progressed to a more subdued pace at this point, especially with the German emphasis now being towards France, and in the war against Britain, Lend-Lease might not flow as freely towards the nationalists. The Italians have yet to join the fight, although they are positioning themselves for anything that might happen, so we'll have to see what goes on in the world with them. Hungary has joined the fight, aligning themselves with the German state, and that is the current state of affairs in Europe. Welcome all to Global War 1936. We're looking at Operation Varsity, turn number 5 for the Soviets. I'm feeling still very under the weather, so I'm going to try to keep this a very brief and simple turn. I'm not rolling for tech just yet, as far as I remember. I don't roll until a little bit later. Let me just quickly double check on that one, because I don't want to be shorting myself out on anything. Let me see. 15 is where I research, and currently I sit at only a simple 11, I believe. 11 on the tracker over here. 10, rather. 10 on the tracker. Nope, sorry, 9 on the tracker. So really quite measly. I would need a solid income increase roll to really succeed on that one. I don't believe I get boosted up with anything that has gone on so far. So let's go right to our combat, or purchases. We're sending one Lend-Lease fighter over to the Republicans, so that's $10, and that brings us down to a nice 1 left over for the USSR. The CCP is not spending their money, and they are the only ones doing any combat moves astern as well. So in light of the overwhelming force that we see coming down from the north here, the Japanese forces, and seeing everything that they could throw into the fight, all the cavalry, all the aircraft, we feel it's most prudent to live to fight another day, because once CCP is off the map, it's hard to bring them back on board without a full-fledged Soviet invasion. So with some regret, we must invade southwards to break free of this predicament we find ourselves in. The only place we can go into is in Szechwan, hoping to kind of employ ourselves in a long march to retreat further away from the enemy and into a position of more strength. So that's where we're going. So I'm going to roll some dice here. I'm not going to roll too many. There's mountain trains, so we'll just keep that in mind. I'm going to roll for the infantry here at militia defending at 2, and I'm going to roll for, let's see, I have 2 mountain infantry rolling at 2s. I have 2 cavalry also rolling at 2s. Let's see if this is sufficient to win that fight. It should almost be. We got a 1 right here. So we've managed to take out that militia. There's nothing here on the defense. And we've moved south to Szechwan. I should have stated what was all going into that territory. Well, it was basically anything that could move. It's a long march. We're moving away from our capital, unfortunately. But the way we see it is that the Japanese have nothing on their plate right now, and the aircraft could be happily employed in taking out our forces, and I don't know if they're going to go after Comintern at this stage. So we only leave 2 militia left over in CCP territory here, and that takes care of effectively what we got going on as the CCP. So we're going to roll for our recruitment roll, which should be a roll of 2 or less. So let's see if we get lucky on that one. Now, we don't necessarily need to be lucky on this one. Of course, we won't turn it down, but we would only be able to place in the territory you just vacated. So we've got a 4. We don't get that one, so we sit here in Szechwan, and we collect our $2 of income here, leaving us at 7. While we're looking at this side of the map, let's roll for Mongolia as well. Let's see what the result is. Oh, that was almost 2, but nothing for Mongolia. Alright, so now we move on to our non-combat for these guys here. So what we're going to do is we're going to move some of these dudes back south. So 3 infantry move from Amur to Primorsky Krai, and 1 infantry goes to Chita, and 1 at Mor. Now I'm told that, this is just the downloaded setup for a tabletop simulator, so I'm not sure exactly what's what where, but I'm told that one of these is a mountain. So let's just say one of these guys here is a mountain infantry. And for right now, I'm going to just clone this guy and say one guy in Primorski Krai is mountain infantry. And there we have it. That's what's going on there. Now, what about our other non-combat moves? We have a ship. This submarine is going to move one sea zone space from A9 all the way to join this fleet over here in A14. We're going to send these two ships from A12 to A14 as well. And then we have one other ship on the loose. It's this one up here from, A5 is going to come down to A10 to the sea zone here to attempt to join this fleet as well. And I believe I'm very much under the weather. It's been a long... Beg pardon. It's been a long struggle for me. Okay, there's no attacks being made as Republicans. That is it for the Soviet forces. There's not much else going on here. I suppose I could rail this fellow. Let's rail this fellow. No, let's not. Let's leave him where he's at. You know what? From Novosibirsk. No, yeah, no, we'll leave him at Novosibirsk. Just kind of as a backup. I know I'm not thinking as clearly as I could, so there's always some potentiality of something bad happening. Let's get this guy over to Republican Spain, and then let's take a look at the map here if we have any non-combat moves. I think we're just going to non-combat move this anti-aircraft gun back here and drop off our fighter in this area here. Yeah, that should about do it. And now all we have left to do is roll for recruitment roll. So we are looking at a recruitment roll of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 or less. And we've been quite successful with these guys, so I suspect right now we're going to do a miss, but let's just have a glance. I don't want to be too pessimistic on this one. 4. We succeeded. So let's get ourselves another infantry. And let's place him over here. That gives us some striking power towards Basque Country if we need it, and also shores up some defenses as well too. It's also nice to be stronger in Catalonia in case something goes south with Germany. You know, it's a good solid position to have, and it is our capital for the Republicans at this point. Okay, so now we go down to collect income. I believe we're still sitting at a 9 here, so we're going to go for a 9. That brings us up to nice solid 10. Very very small potatoes, but we'll take what we can get. $10 to spend on the subsequent turn. Okay, all. Thank you all for watching. I can't think of what else I would have missed at this point. I'm sure there is something, because I always do miss something. Thank you all, guys, and yeah, I'm hoping to get over the sickness quite quickly, because I only have 1 day off before I go back to work in a new job, and I don't want to be taking sick days immediately. So thank you all for your well wishes towards my health, and yeah, take care. Cheers.